Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. So today we're going to take a look into what your person would tell you if they were being totally honest with you, completely truthful about their feelings and everything going on. So go ahead and pick a pile and we'll get started. As always, I'm so grateful for your presence and I hope things are going really well for you in life. Alright, pile one, let's get into your reading. Let's see what your person would tell you if they were being completely honest with you. Alright, pile one. What would pile one's person say to pile one if they were being completely honest? What would pile one's person tell pile one if they were being totally honest with pile one? Alright. So we have the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like what they would tell you, if they were totally honest, is that they're kind of going through a lot right now here with the Ten of Wands. They're feeling, I'm sensing like emotional burden, very stressed out here, especially with the Five of Pentacles. I think what they would tell you is that they really miss your loving, beautiful energy and that they really do think you are like a really incredible, kind person, and I think they have a lot of respect for you. I feel like they respect how true to yourself you are and that you always are loving and kind to other people. I think they really look up to you as a person. They hold you in a very high regard. And with this Five of Pentacles, if there's a separation of some sort between the two of you, or any sort of disconnect, even emotionally, this person wants you to know that they do really yearn for you here at the Five of Pentacles. It's like they feel very out in the cold without you. They feel very lonesome, maybe even abandoned. This could also be about them letting you know that there are emotional things that they are having to work through, I think, from their childhood and just past experiences. And maybe with this Ten of Wands, they do have a lot of baggage. I think another message that I'm getting is that they would tell you that none of their behavior towards you has been personal, because if they ever did anything that was like maybe not like the nicest or maybe inconsiderate of your feelings, I think they would let you know that it has a lot to do with their own emotional problems, and that they see you as a wonderful person. Like I was saying before, they think you are such a beautiful person inside and out, like with such a good heart. You're such a good person. And so they're saying that no way that I acted was a reflection of like your goodness or your worth, because you're like an exceptional person, and that they would have treated anybody like that because that's like how they were treating themselves, is what I'm getting here. Let's get some more messages. What else would pile one's person tell pile one if they were being completely honest? What else would pile one's person tell pile one if they were being totally honest with pile one? Okay, so we have the Three of Wands. So what I'm getting from this is that your person would want to tell you that they definitely still see a future with you. They still want a future. I think this is saying that even if there's a separation here with the Five of Pentacles, or you're going through a rough patch, they still see a bright future, and that they're hopeful that things could work out between the two of you, that maybe you'll cross paths again, or they'll have the courage to step out of their comfort zone. And it's like, I'm also seeing with this image here how there's like this shining light. It's like they would tell you that they do feel guided by your light. They do feel divinely guided to come back to you. And I almost see that here with the Ten of Wands. It's like this guy's like on this kind of journey here. And I feel like they'd tell you that they're working through their emotional blockages. They're working through their issues because they feel like you're their true home here. And with this Five of Pentacles, they feel almost without a home, even if they're comfortable in their living situation, like they actually they have a place to stay. It's like on the inside they feel almost homeless or lost, is kind of the sense I'm getting. Let's see, what else would pile one's person tell pile one if they were completely honest with pile one? If they were being completely honest with pile one, what else would they say? Alright, so we have the Eight of Cups. So they would tell you that I think that they want to walk away from maybe a lot of these emotional burdens here, that they are on an inner journey, that they have been introspecting They've been really doing a lot of self-reflection, perhaps because there is, distance between the two of you or whatever's going on. This has been a time where your person has been really looking at what in their life is more like ego based and kind of fake, and what is real to them. And I think they would want you to know that they're starting to realize that this love, this connection, this feeling that they have for you is one of the realest things in their lives, and that maybe their avoidance of this connection or whatever happened in the past was because they weren't really being true to themselves. They were lying to themselves, perhaps, trying to kind of chase after. I'm hearing like all that glitters isn't gold, so maybe they were trying to chase after, shiny things and kind of distracting themselves. But I feel like this pain here with the Five of Pentacles, this loss, has kind of forced your person to just really, in a way, it's like I'm getting that they kind of just snapped out of it, and they had a really, I think, like in a way, like hard look at themselves and their lifestyle and their choices, and they're seeing that there's maybe a lot of things that they were chasing after that didn't ultimately lead to much emotional fulfillment, and it's like time for them to go and find like who they really are as a person, and what really makes their life feel meaningful. And I feel like that has a lot to do with you as well. I'm also getting a message that they feel like you've kind of figured everything out here. Like with the Queen of Cups, like maybe you've already gone through your own spiritual journey or like transformation. And I think that's part of why they respect you, is that in some ways I'm getting the sense that they feel very much immature and very lost. And that they do look up to you because they feel like you're sitting here like on your throne, confident, you've figured your life out, maybe you've discovered your purpose, and it's like they feel like they're catching up to you is kind of what I'm getting here. And that they maybe still have a long way to go sometimes, or they feel down on themselves for maybe being not at your level. Could be even spiritually. What else would Pile 1's person tell Pile 1 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 1's person tell Pile 1? Okay, so we have the Page of Wands. So they would tell you that they very much do still feel this like spark here. They want to adventure towards you is what I'm feeling. This can also be about communication. So they would tell you like, even if it's been a minute since we caught up or we haven't seen each other in person, like I really do want to take action towards you. I do want to reach out. I want to flirt with you. I also feel like they miss your friendship. Like maybe you guys have just like a really great companion energy. Like you have a really great sense of humor. Like maybe you guys enjoy each other's banter. I feel like your person would say that like they really miss your guys' conversations. They miss the things that you guys would talk about. I'm getting this energy also that they're saying like with the Five of Pentacles, like they get very maybe bored and kind of lonesome, and they do reflect on like past conversations, because I feel like you really spark their imagination, their intellect. Like you always have interesting things to talk about. And that's part of the reason why they like you so much, is just because the conversations always feel meaningful that they have with you. And what I'm getting here, especially with this Eight of Cups, is that I feel like your person has maybe not experienced a lot of people, like friends, romantic partners in the past, like that really were that had much depth to them, or had really explored maybe like the deeper aspects of life or themselves. And so I feel like they would say like, without you, my life feels like it's lacking a lot of depth. There's not a lot of people I can talk to about, subjects other than just like materialism, things like that. And like I miss how meaningful our conversations felt, and like I miss how meaningful our relationship felt, because all this stuff around me, all these people around me, just kind of keep me stuck in like a past version of myself. And I again, like I want to leave that in the past. I want to leave that behind, because it's just not emotionally fulfilling anymore. And I'm seeking something deeper in my life. Like I'm seeking more truth about the nature of reality and things. So there could be a bit of an existential energy coming from your person, where it could be maybe they went down a path of more trying to fill those inner voids, or the wounds or something. And I feel like once you, let's say like you think that once you have a certain amount of money you'll be happy, or a certain friend group or something like that, for example, and then you achieve it and then you realize that it didn't really fix those problems that you'd been avoiding. I'm kind of getting that vibe from your person, that they might have kind of hit a dead end and realized that they were kind of just chasing something meaningless, and now it's like they have to go within. And I feel like the more they go within, the more they are paying attention to like the significance of this relationship also, is what I'm getting. All right, let's clarify a bit. Clarify the Five of Pentacles, please. Clarify the Five of Pentacles. Clarify the Five of Pentacles, please. Oh my gosh, look at this again. We have the Five of Pentacles coming out twice. They really do like miss you so much. They do feel like abandoned for sure. So they're saying, yeah, life feels so cold without you by my side. Like, I feel unloved. I feel out in the cold. I am suffering. You know, there is this energy where your person, like, you know, you can be in a room full of people and feel so alone. And I think that's really what your person is getting at, because going back to the depth that you have as a person, they may even feel like you're one of the few people that maybe really sees them for who they are, really gets them. And that can be, you know, really hard to lose somebody that you feel that connection with, because then you feel like, again, how this person is feeling, like all these connections that maybe they do have in their life do feel very empty because none of these people really even know them or really care about them. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups, they are acknowledging that maybe at one point they felt like you truly cared about them in like a deeper way that other people hadn't, like you really saw them for who they were as like a soul, as a person, and that really meant a lot because maybe they'd never been seen like that before. So we also have the Hanged Man. I'm seeing things from a new point of view. So they are definitely getting a new perspective here. And that could even be with the Five of Pentacles on just how much you really do mean to them. So for some of you, this might resonate that perhaps before there was a separation, maybe you felt at times they were taking you for granted or like not fully seeing how valuable you were or something like that to them. And then in some ways, like after this separation, or maybe you pulled away or something like that, it really kind of forced them to see this perspective of like, wow, I should never have taken this person for granted. Like they were such a gift. They were such a wonderful person. And then we have the Knight of Cups. I want to come to you and give you my love. So they definitely do want to reach out here with the Page of Wands too and pursue a love connection with you. In some ways that could also be an apology for some of you. I think this also has to do with like following their heart. Maybe they feel like they didn't follow their heart in the past. Again, like I was kind of channeling, like kind of chasing after shiny things, stuff like that, or just trying to like fill that emptiness with things, people, stuff like that. And they're realizing that, you know, it would be a much more fulfilling life if they were to follow their heart to you and to confess their feelings, be vulnerable with you, that perhaps if they did so, like, you know, you could rekindle things. And again, like that's why we have the Three of Wands here. Like they still are very hopeful about a future with you guys. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Cups here. Clarify the Eight of Cups. Clarify the Eight of Cups, please. So yeah, we do have the Judgment card and the Wheel of Fortune. So there's definitely major shifts happening in your person's life. I'm feeling with the Wheel of Fortune, this is all about karma and stuff like that. So there could be karmic cycles your person is leaving behind. So if your person is involved in like karmic situations, or just you like are bearing witness to them being definitely stuck in maybe karmic patterns that could just be behavior, this is all changing. This person is shifting, I think, out of that, because with the Judgment says I'm ascending to a higher state of consciousness. So they're having this whole kind of like wake up call, rebirth. That's kind of what I was feeling. Like they just kind of like, it might have just hit them totally out of the blue. They might have had an experience or something where all of a sudden it's like, what I'm getting here, okay, what I'm getting very specifically is your person was walking around like almost like in a stupor, you know, just kind of like where you're living, but you're not really living. You're just like on autopilot. And then all of a sudden, it's like they stopped in their tracks, and it's like spirit almost like hit them over the head with like this like hammer or something, and it's like their eyes opened and they like saw everything very clearly for the first time, and maybe realized that they were just living their life on autopilot, and all of a sudden they like saw all the things around them that don't serve them, and aren't for their highest good, and maybe got really reflective about their behavior. So this person is having a lot of epiphanies here. And this is that energy of, rebirth, where you can choose a new path for yourself. And I feel like that's very much what your person would tell you, is they are choosing a different path. They're choosing a higher path for themselves. All right, great. Let's see. Let's get some oracle cards now. All right, pile one. What would pile one's person tell pile one if they were completely honest? If they were being completely honest, what would pile one's person tell pile one? If they were being completely honest, what would they tell? What would pile one's person tell pile one if they were being completely honest? What would pile one's person tell pile one if they were being completely honest? So we have the attraction card. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So they would definitely tell you, I'm still very, very attracted to you. I feel magnetized by you. Again, it's like, even if it's this really difficult journey maybe to come back to you with the Ten of Wands, it's like they still feel so drawn to you, like they haven't forgotten about you. I think that they just feel very attracted to you on a soul level as well. Again, you have this beautiful heart, this beautiful soul. Very physically attractive as well, very lovely with the Queen of Cups, but they feel like I'm hearing like you're just one of the most attractive people they've ever seen. And it's also just this vibe, maybe this energy that you guys share as well. That's a strong, thing of attraction, is like, you can meet like 100 attractive people, but it's always just specifically certain people that you have this draw to because you have a soul connection with them, We also have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So I feel like, in a way, I'm getting an energy where your person would want to tell you, like, can you forgive me maybe for the things that I've done, the things that I've said, the past, because I have learned from my mistakes, and I do want to become better. Again, I'm releasing old patterns, old cycles of behavior with the Eight of Cups. I still want you. I still want this connection. Like, can we forgive and forget? And again, this person, I feel like, is saying, I'm having to forgive and learn from my actions. I'm having to forgive myself and understand that, I was acting from my level of consciousness at the time. And, sometimes we do make mistakes when we're not fully aware. Again, I was feeling like your person maybe was kind of on autopilot, and maybe they kind of treated this connection like that sometimes, where they weren't acting fully from that place of like awareness. They were maybe acting kind of confusing, stuff like that. And they're saying, can you please understand that I'm changing, I think would be a message. We also have, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. Exactly. Like, I feel like your person is saying, like, will you give me a second chance to work on things with you? Will you accept me, if I come back and open my heart to you? Will you accept me, or will you reject me? Will you hold on to the past? And, is what I've done unforgivable? I feel like that's definitely that energy. They're like, please let me have another shot at making things better, because I am working on myself. So that's definitely up to you, but I feel like your person definitely is kind of, in a way, like begging for a reconciliation, that you could see past maybe their mistakes and understand, that maybe they were immature or something like that. Let's see. What else would pile one's person tell pile one if they were being completely honest? What else would pile one's person say to pile one if they were being completely honest? Interesting. So we have vanity, service, and prayer. So these are very oppositional energies here. So I think your person would tell you that maybe at one point they were struggling with being self-centered, maybe being vain. Again, you can kind of see here, this is kind of, I think, supposed to like embody kind of what I was talking about. It's like maybe doing a lot of partying, a lot of, just drinking, perhaps kind of just very focused on materialism. They would definitely say, like, I was going on that path. But I feel like I can almost see in this card, this is almost like that judgment energy where it's like there's this like kind of like shamanic or like mystical figure kind of like looking at these people like, what are you doing? Like, you are so lost. So I feel like that goes hand in hand with that. So your person's kind of realizing that they were living kind of more of like an ego-based life. And then we have service here, which is kind of the opposite, where it's like living a life of, service, being there for other people in need, being compassionate, realizing that, you know, you can live for yourself and also live for other people, and be more empathetic and really give to others. So I think your person would tell you that they are shifting more into the energy of giving and kindness rather than maybe being all about them. And then we have prayer. So I feel like your person would tell you that they are praying for, I feel like maybe a reconciliation with you, praying that you forgive them, maybe even praying to, for themselves to figure out like what really matters. It's interesting. You can almost see here, see in this card, there's like this city background, and then in this card, there's like a city background, and then there's also like this kind of like countryside natural energy. And I kind of feel like that's sort of representing here, like they're having to make a choice about what path they're going to follow. Not saying that there's anything wrong with living in a city, but I feel like this more is kind of about like, you know, returning to the energy of nature, or that energy of this distraction with the vanity card, and that they're praying for spirit to guide them to their highest path and what would actually bring their life like meaning here. So they're definitely kind of maybe relying on their higher self maybe more, and I think they want you to know that as well. And that's really beautiful. All right, let's get some messages from them and see what they actually want to say to you now. All right, messages from pile 1's person to pile 1. What would pile 1's person say to pile 1? Pile 1, what would pile 1's person say to pile 1? Let's see. I'm integrating my sensitive side and getting in touch with my emotions and intuition, and that's very interesting. Like I was saying here, relying on their higher self, and the Knight of Cups is that energy of, you know, a divine masculine energy that is kind of in touch with their feminine side. You know, their intuition, in touch with their heart, what they're feeling called to go after. I'm thinking about you right now, so they do think about you a lot. They're thinking about you right now. You are my true counterpart. I don't want anybody else, so they are realizing this, that no one else, like I was kind of saying, like fulfills them on that deeper level, and you're the only thing on my mind. So definitely thinking about you a lot. Again, no one else really occupies their thoughts in the same way that you do. Pile 1. Let's get some more cards. What else would pile 1's person say to pile 1? What else would pile 1's person say to pile 1? What else would pile 1's person say to pile 1? What else would pile 1's person want to say? Your eyes are love itself. That's very beautiful. So they feel like when they stare into your eyes, they just see these like pools of love. Like with the Queen of Cups energy, I think you have, like I was saying, just a really beautiful soul. I'm sensing maybe you've done a lot of inner work, so you really embody love energy very fully because you've kind of integrated that. And this person just thinks that you're just so lovely and so beautiful. And they do fall very deeply in love with you when they look into your eyes. What else does pile 1's person want to say to pile 1? What else does pile 1's person want to say to pile 1? What else does pile 1's person want to say to pile 1? What else does pile 1's person want to say? Oops. You're my everything. So yeah, you're very, very important to them. No matter how they've acted, you're still probably the most important person to them. Yeah, look at this. My life doesn't feel right without you in it. You're the missing piece of the puzzle. So that's that 5 of Pentacles energy that came out earlier, that they do feel like something is missing without you in their life. They feel like you kind of complete them in a sense. That, like, again, you're my counterpart. Like, I don't want anybody else. Get these cards. What else does pile 1's person really want to say to pile 1 right now? What else does pile 1's person really want to say to pile 1 right now? What else does pile 1's person want to say? Our connection hurts and confuses me sometimes, so I think they are admitting that they have maybe gotten very triggered in the past. We can trigger people, you know, with really unintentionally, especially if your person did have a lot of baggage, a lot of childhood wounds that they hadn't worked through, that they may have, you know, caused issues in this connection, or even maybe at times like ran away from it because they felt so confused or so hurt, they didn't know how to deal with it. I've put you on a massive pedestal. I'm so intimidated by you. So they're saying I am actually very intimidated by you. that goes back to what I was saying earlier with the Queen of Cups, that maybe you have really developed yourself as a person, and it could be that you're just so mature and just so, it's like your person almost sees you as like perfect in a way, because maybe you, like I was saying, you've worked on yourself a lot spiritually. They almost see you as like, in a way, like maybe a deity or like an ascended master or something for some of you. And it's like intimidating to them because they feel like you're just so much maybe wiser than them. And it could be scary because they feel like they don't, on a deep level, maybe they feel like they don't really know what they bring to the table, because maybe they haven't developed themselves as much. Maybe you have a very well developed career or something like that as well. Also, I feel like you're also just very physically attractive, and that could be intimidating. I'm coming back and showing up as my best self. So we did see that with the Three of Wands. Your person does intend on returning to you. I kind of see that as like the homecoming energy, preparing for, reunions and celebration with the Four of Wands. So your person does want to come back as a better version of themselves. And I see that with the Eight of Cups. They are walking away from things that perhaps caused problems in the relationship or kept them from being, a really fantastic partner to you. All right, let's get you some advice here, pile one. What does pile one need to hear right now, please? What does pile one need to hear right now, please? This says, all people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. And this says, everyone lives in their own dream. Don't take anything personally. So this is from the Four Agreements Oracle deck. It's a great book if you haven't read it. But I think this is basically saying that don't take things personally, because everyone is kind of like lost in their own sort of reality, especially people, like I was saying, your person may have been kind of like on autopilot, just kind of existing without a lot of consciousness. Anything your person did from that level was a result of them being kind of in their own little world, in their own little reality, and maybe your person was not they were not at the time very aware of how their actions were affecting you, because they were kind of stuck in their own little dream. Like, I'm getting this image of someone not really being able to see beyond their own shoes. It's like, especially when we're dealing with a lot of emotional stuff, a lot of unprocessed stuff, we're kind of living from just like the reptile part of our brain, which is just essentially survival mode, where it's like, I need to get my needs fulfilled, and that's it, without a lot of higher awareness of like, what other people need from us, or again, how our actions can affect other people. We're just kind of thinking about our own survival. And I feel like that kind of could be a factor in this relationship, is maybe your person was acting from that place. Again, the vanity card. And to kind of forgive them for that, because maybe at one time they were more unaware. And I guess just understand they probably treated other people like that. Other than just you, they probably treated everyone in their reality like that. And I also feel like they probably weren't treating themselves very well either. I feel like people are their own worst critics and their own worst bullies. So a lot of times I sense that if people are hurtful to others, they're probably more hurtful to themselves on a constant basis than to other people. So just kind of have that in mind. That, you may, like I'm feeling with the Queen of Cups, that you may be a very empathic, sensitive person who really picks up on the needs of feelings of others. And so to you, maybe your person's actions seemed like unforgivable, or like you're like, I would never do that. But again, you might just simply be, I guess, on a different level than they are. You might have, again, worked on yourself more or become more conscious than they are at this time. And if they were at your level, maybe they wouldn't act that way, but they're not. And I think that's just kind of that understanding that we do have to kind of forgive people, like that quote, like, forgive them for they know not what they do. That's kind of an example of that. All right, pile one, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to read for you. Sending you so much love, abundance, beauty, bliss, and all those other good things. Take care of yourselves. All right, bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here. So let's get into looking at what your person would tell you if they were being completely 100% honest with you, totally honest with you. All right, Pile 2. What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 2's person say to Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being totally honest? What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2? Okay, so we have the Fool, Temperance, and the Ace of Wands. So I feel like with the Fool, if your person was being completely honest, they would tell you that they do want to take a leap of faith with you. They do want to be strong and dive in and just, I feel like, go all in with you without holding back. Because I feel like with the Temperance energy, they would want to say that they've been working on themselves a lot. They've been balancing themselves. They've been healing themselves. They've been integrating their masculine and feminine sides. You can see here she has like this cup of water and this cup of fire, and there's like a little bit of a rainbow as well. So I feel like this is kind of saying that your person's been doing a lot of maybe healing in the chakras as well. They've been getting a lot of downloads, a lot of spiritual healing, maybe even Reiki for some of you or something like that. And as they're integrating their masculine and feminine sides, it's allowing them to release a lot of fear here of maybe the unknown. And with the Ace of Wands, I'd also want to tell you that they feel tons of passion for you. They're having this kind of wave of maybe a lot of passionate thoughts and feelings towards you, a lot of attraction, and it's like they're feeling very inspired to take this risk with you, take this chance with you. And it's like with all this butterfly energy as well, it's like they've gone through maybe a massive transformation, like the death energy, and I'm getting that they've upgraded themselves maybe, and now that this upgrade is kind of allowing them to feel really free and not restricted by their own fears when it comes to you in this connection. All right, what else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? So we have the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords, which is interesting. So with the Knight of Swords, yeah, they want to tell you that they do actually have like a lot of truth maybe to get off their chest here, and they do want to take this really like swift action towards you. I'm getting a lot of energy of movement here, so I'm even getting kind of like travel for some of you, even with the Fool and the Knight of Swords. It's like this energy of flight. But I feel like even if you guys aren't long distance, it's like they may have been trapped in a situation, a way of thinking that was really holding them back and restricting them. And with this Knight of Swords, it's almost like they're cutting those ties to these, I'm getting like blinders even. I'm getting a message that your person may have been just very confused, and I'm even getting like manipulated somehow. But now they're kind of taking those blinders off, and they're like seeing the truth for what it really is, because they're doing all this healing. And now they're just wanting to completely free themselves and come towards you. Let's see, let's get some more. What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2? We have the King of Swords and the Hierophant. So the King of Swords, I think that's kind of that energy I was picking up earlier, where they're seeing a lot of truth. They're getting really clear here. And they're thinking very logically, but very sensibly. And I feel like they have started to really understand the things in their life that make them feel happy and make them feel whole and make them feel good. And they're really like, I'm almost getting like a pros and cons list. Like they're kind of organizing their life and like sorting it out and seeing like what they need to throw out and what they need to invest more time and energy into. And I feel like this has a lot to do with their spirituality as well with the Hierophant, that they have been getting a lot of spiritual downloads, maybe even connecting more to a certain religion or spiritual practice, their higher self. And I think they're really also like getting in touch with their core values as a person. And that's helping them make all these decisions because they're seeing that they do want to maybe live a life of more spirituality, maybe more being in service to other people. Again, more like moral, like, holding themselves maybe to higher standards in terms of, maybe being more virtuous or something like that. And so they're really seeing that there are important shifts that they need to make maybe. And also I think they're gaining a lot of wisdom here because I keep noticing all these different religions here. They could be maybe studying like philosophy or studying spirituality from a lot of different religions, maybe Eastern religions particularly. And this is giving your person a lot of wisdom and really helping them sort their life out. Let's see. Let's clarify a bit. Clarify the Eight of Swords, please. What would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they're being completely honest? Clarify the Eight of Swords, please. So yeah, again, we have priorities here, the Two of Pentacles. I'm getting my priorities straight. And then the Knight of Pentacles, I want to nurture our connection and provide you with stability. So it's like this person has been maybe trying to create more harmony in their life, makes sense with the Temperance. And with all this energy of your person having all this clarity, all these realizations, they're seeing that there may be things that were kind of like distracting them or in a way like clogging up their energy, like sucking their energy, almost like the energy of like an energy vampire, but doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could be, but it also could be maybe, overworking themselves or, doing too much for other people or just not nurturing themselves enough, not nurturing you enough. So it's like they're getting rid of these things that were keeping them from giving you all the attention and love that you deserve here, because they do want to nurture you. They want to make you feel stable. They want to show up in this really committed, diligent energy where they probably put in a lot of effort. So things that were preventing them from putting in a lot of effort towards you in the connection are what they want to release themselves from. Because they do feel all this attraction and spark and like desire to, commit to you, to be with you as well. With the Hierophant, that's a very committed energy. So it could be if there was something in their life that was preventing them even from maybe being committed to you fully. That could be long distance or partners, things like that. It's like they're releasing those because they want to just give you their all. Like with the Fool here, they just want to go all in with you, jump all in with you, for sure. It could also be that they were having to just balance out their fears, and that was basically it. It may not have been anything external. And they're seeing that maybe these fears that were holding them back from experiencing like real love, real happiness, real joy. And it's in a way that they were kind of like screwing themselves over by not following their heart to be with you. Clarify the Fool, please. Clarify the Fool. Page of Cups, I want to flirt with you. So yeah, they do want to just kind of fall in love with you. The Page of Cups almost, I'm getting the vibe that this is that energy of like falling in love for the first time, where you're not full of pain from past relationships, and you just kind of go wholeheartedly into the connection because you've never maybe experienced real heartbreak. And so, you're just totally there with the person that you're, falling in love with. And so, even if this isn't the first time you guys have been in love, the first time this person has been in a relationship, it's like they want to bring that energy of just total trust and total surrender to the feeling, rather than maybe getting caught up in like, well, what if this goes wrong like my last relationship? Or, what if they do this to me like my last partner did to me? They're letting all that go so they can just give themselves to the connection fully, and really be there and be optimistic as well. The Page of Cups is a very sweet energy as well. I also feel like that's that energy of like a very healed inner child, and being very in touch with the inner child. So I sense that has to do with this Temperance energy, that there has been a lot of really deep healing your person has been going through. Let's see. Clarify the Hierophant. Clarify the Hierophant. Clarify the Hierophant. Clarify the Hierophant. Three of Cups, let's get together and enjoy life, and I'm invested in you and our future. So again, the Hierophant, I am feeling this energy of commitment coming from that here, that they do want to, maybe even for some of you, like this could be about like a proposal, you know, really committing to you like long term, like in terms of a marriage for some of you. It could also just be a verbal commitment, you know, like I want to stay with you long term. I want this to be a very stable connection that lasts because I want to put in the effort. Under the Three of Cups, this is the energy of reunions, fun, lightheartedness, like, you know, let's get together, let's enjoy life, let's enjoy this relationship, this connection, because, and I feel like that's why they're so invested in you, is that you maybe do bring a lot of love and happiness and joy to them, and they just really enjoy your company. You guys could be very close friends as well, and that's why this person could just see, you know, how valuable this connection is and why it's so worthy of their time and, again, like their emotional investment here. So they definitely are planning for the future. A lot of Pentacle energy. I feel like your person really wants to settle down with you guys. All right. Let's get some oracle cards now. All right. What would pile two's person say to pile two if they were being completely honest? What would pile two's person say to pile two if they were being completely honest? What would pile two's person say to pile two if they were being totally honest? What would pile two's person say to pile two if they were being totally honest? What would pile two's person say to pile two if they were being totally honest? Pile two's person say to pile two if they were being totally honest? We have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So yeah, they would tell you that they do have really deep romantic feelings for you, that they do want to explore. They want to pursue you romantically as well. I'm also seeing with this Cupid, they would tell you that they've really fallen for you, and I feel like they really couldn't help it. And I'm also getting this energy that they actually are really falling in love with you. It's not just about maybe physical attraction. I feel like that's an element, but it's more like they've, like I was saying here with like the Hierophant, the friendship energy, that they really love your company, they love being around you, and I think they've really fallen for you on like a soul level. They really admire who you are as a person, and yeah, they definitely maybe do have really real feelings for you. And I'm also getting a message about the real feelings, like they may feel that these are the realest feelings they've had for somebody, that maybe they've never really fallen in love before, like truly in love, and that with you, again, it is like falling in love for the first time with the Page of Cups, like I was saying earlier. And I'm also getting this message like they were kind of maybe even surprised by how deep these feelings went. Maybe it was even kind of as soon as you guys started to get to know each other, they just found themselves thinking about you a lot, you know, really falling for you, which is really cute. All right, pile two. What else would pile two's person tell pile two if they're being completely honest? We have deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So it could be in the past, like with this Eight of Swords, they were dealing with some sort of like stuck energy within them here, and maybe they were dealing with a lot of fears, and so they were perhaps hiding just how much you meant to them. Or again, if there was something that was literally keeping them stuck away from you, preventing you guys from being together, they may have felt that they needed to act like they weren't falling for you even though they were. And I feel like that could be an energy of maybe an apology and admission, like if I ever acted like I didn't care about you or I didn't want this connection, it was fake. It was me lying to myself and you. Let's see, what else would pile two's person say to pile two if they were 100% honest? What else would pile two's person tell pile two if they were being 100% honest? What else would pile two's person tell pile two if they were being completely honest? What else would pile two's person tell pile two if they were being completely honest? We have soulmate and chemistry. Okay, so yeah, that's what the deception is definitely about, because this person does feel like you are their soulmate, and again, the chemistry with the Ace of Wands, they're very, very attracted to you, because I think it is this soul level connection where it's less about just the physicality, it's less about maybe just the physical attraction. There is just this soul level chemistry between the two of you where maybe just being in each other's presence just feels very special and very unique. Again, like they haven't really felt this way about someone else before. And maybe the depth of this connection here, the depth of this soul mate connection may have really scared them at one point, or if they were already like with somebody else, hypothetically for some of you, and then you came into their life, it may have really shaken them because they realized that you were their soulmate, not this other person, and that they really wanted to be with you, but there may have been complications about that, around that, which caused them to hide their feelings. That's like a very specific story for some of you guys. Take it as it resonates. Otherwise, it could have been that they simply did have a lot of baggage from past relationships or past experiences, and that the idea or like the feeling of falling very deeply in love with you with that soulmate energy and feeling so much passion and magnetism, like even in some ways, even though like there was something inside of them like pulling them towards you, like you can see with this Knight of Swords, like just wanting to rush towards you and be with you, it could have been that the unhealed part of themselves was very terrified by the idea of maybe being so vulnerable with somebody, so in love, because when we're really, really deeply in love with someone, that does kind of leave us a little bit more exposed and bare. If they decide to walk away from us or they hurt us some way, it can really, really hurt if it's someone we're really deeply in love with. Whereas if it's just like a casual relationship or someone we don't really care about, the loss isn't so painful. And maybe your person kind of realized that losing you would potentially be very painful, so they may have chosen to avoid the connection or kind of mask their true feelings here, mask their vulnerability. That could resonate for some of you. All right. Let's get some more messages. What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? What else would Pile 2's person tell Pile 2 if they were being completely honest? Let's see. So we have confusion, recovery, and discovery. Interesting. So what I'm getting here with the confusion kind of relates to the deception energy. Maybe you felt very confused by this person, and I think this has a lot to do with I think the message is that if they were being confusing with you is because they were very confused within themselves. I'm almost seeing like this person here, it's like there's this energy kind of whispering in their ear. So this could be about their own doubts and fears, kind of like almost like intrusive thoughts, kind of telling them to hold themselves back from you or to run away from the connection, something like that. They might have been dealing with a lot of internal chaos. But the nice thing is we have recovery and discovery. So with this recovery energy, it's like this is almost like their higher self kind of giving them like this key in a way. What I'm feeling from this is like enlightenment, like giving them the key maybe to like kind of escape this mental prison. I'm even seeing here that they don't need to stay stuck in their fears, in their worries, and their doubts, that they can just free themselves and believe and trust in the universe, in love itself, in you, in this connection. And so it's like they're recovering maybe even a part of themselves that they lost. Like with this Page of Cups energy I keep coming back to, it's like that is like our most sweet and vulnerable inner child self that does kind of love without condition and falls in love easily and deeply and isn't so afraid of, what that means. Like children are very emotionally honest a lot of times and very loving to one another without a lot of fear of rejection. And so it's like this part of themselves, that sweetness, could have been locked away and hidden for a long time. And it's like now they're freeing themselves from that place. And then we have discovery. So they are, I feel like having a heart chakra awakening here. You can see in this card, again, getting in touch with I'm getting like ancestral energy, higher self energy, source as well. And they're discovering the truth of their heart, the truth of who they are. And I think that relates to this soulmate energy, is that when they get in touch with their truth of their heart, they see that you are their soulmate. They see that they do deeply love you, that you mean more to them than anyone else. And they want to let this love, grow and blossom, and they don't want to close their heart off to you anymore. It's like they want to give their heart to you and not be scared anymore. So that's really beautiful. It's like they're going on a whole little, self-discovery journey, and I feel like the more they discover about themselves, the more that gets revealed to them. Definitely the more they recognize just how much they want you in this connection. Because I think especially with soulmates and things like that, like if we are out of touch with ourselves, it's very hard to recognize just how special somebody may be to us, and just how perfect they may be. Because if we're just not in that vibration of really self-appreciation, we don't know who we are, it's very hard to know what's best for us or what we really want. So that could have been why they were being so confusing, is that they didn't know what they wanted because they didn't know who they were. But now they're starting to figure out who they are, what they really want, what means something to them. All right. Let's get some messages from them and see what they really want to say to you right now. All right, pile 2. What does pile 2's person want to tell pile 2 right now, please? What does pile 2's person want to tell pile 2? What does pile 2's person want to tell pile 2? What does pile 2's person want to tell pile 2? What does pile 2's person want to tell pile 2? I desire intimacy with you on every level. So that is that heart chakra opening where it's not just physical intimacy, it's also emotional intimacy. Again, these feelings, these romantic feelings. You know, I want to explore my feelings with you. I don't want to hide my most vulnerable emotions anymore. And you definitely cannot have real intimacy if you are wearing masks, and I think maybe your person is realizing that. What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2, please? What else does pile 2's person want to say? My soul is yearning for ascension, and they are ascending. I definitely see that. Getting in touch with themselves, their higher self. And ascension does kind of cause us to leave behind a lot of the limiting beliefs and also the defense mechanisms, because we really begin to trust when we ascend. What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2? What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2? We have, sometimes I wonder why you even like me. I hope your love isn't too good to be true. So again, those doubts and those fears that maybe they aren't good enough, we're really stopping them from opening up to you. I want us to live our lives together. So that is the energy of commitment I was feeling, the long-term connection, maybe even moving in together or just being together for your lifetimes and experiencing life with one another. I drive myself crazy overthinking everything. Yeah, and there's that, like I was saying, this kind of voice in their head, these intrusive thoughts that maybe get in the way and cause them to overthink and get scared. Maybe your person is even, like, for some of you, getting into like meditation or something to deal with these fears and these doubts that they struggle with. What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2? What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2? What else does pile 2's person want to say? You're my everything, so you're very, very important to them. No matter if they've shown you that or not, like, you are kind of in a way like the center of their world. What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2? What else does pile 2's person want to say? What else does pile 2's person want to say? Oh, look at this. Yeah, I didn't want to show you how much power you have over me, but the truth is I'm wrapped around your finger. Again, that deception, that confusion, that you really are this person's everything, and they are wrapped around your finger, but due to this fear of you maybe having power over them, hurting them, they felt like it was important for them to maybe act a little aloof, a little distant, even with that King of Swords energy, so that you wouldn't know that you really could hurt them, you know? What else does pile 2's person want to say? Oops. What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2? What else does pile 2's person want to say to pile 2, please? I felt rejected, and so my sadness turned into anger. So that could have happened here, where they may have felt rejected by you and on some level, and they may have gotten, you know, very sad, and maybe it kind of did turn into like an angry energy where you felt like, you know, they got really triggered and maybe said and did things that were kind of unfortunate. For some of you, that may resonate. This could also just kind of, if this doesn't relate to your connection particularly, this could be speaking to perhaps their childhood, and maybe they felt rejected by their parents, or maybe they got bullied in school, and so there may have been a lot of like just like sadness that they felt, you know, in their life, or just a lot of anger maybe towards other people that they hadn't dealt with, and that could be part of what they're having to heal and release, that they may have just had a lot of resentment that had built up maybe through a lifetime of feeling scorned or something like that by people. This could also relate to this connection, though, and I feel like it's just important to know that when people do get angry, a lot of times the core root of that is a deep sense of sadness and rejection and like humiliation and shame, and then people kind of try to, in a way, like mask it with anger. So yeah, I never chose to fall in love with you. Loving you is part of who I am. So that's very beautiful. Again, I kind of was saying that here with the romantic feelings, like they just kind of fell in love with you, and it wasn't really a choice. Maybe at one point they did try to fight it because they were scared, but they're realizing that you are their soulmate, and so a part of them was, I think, destined to fall in love with you, and to love you, and they're kind of surrendering to that, I think. Um, what else does pile two's person want to say to pile two? What else would pile two's person say to pile two? I wish you could hold me and tell me that everything is going to be okay and that you love me. So they do want this comfort from you. I feel like they would really like to be held and nurtured. For some reason, I'm feeling like they may have had a childhood where they didn't perhaps receive enough love and care from their parent or something like that. Like they may have been kind of pushed aside, maybe not really comforted very much, kind of like emotionally starved almost is like the vibe I'm getting. What else does pile two's person want to say? Sometimes I lie awake at night thinking about you, wishing you were beside me. So yeah, they really just want to be near you. They want to hold you. I love it when we're together in my dreams. So they do dream about you a lot. And I wish I could tell you that I never stopped loving you. So for those of you where there have been maybe periods of separation or no contact, things like that, they're saying like I never stopped thinking about you, like I wish you were beside me, and I never stopped loving you. Because again, loving you is just part of who I am. It's not really a choice. And I can't really choose to stop loving you either. All right, pile two. Let's get you some advice now. What does pile two need to hear right now? What does pile two need to hear right now? What does pile two need to hear right now? What does pile two need to hear? This says, eliminate gossip, and this says don't make assumptions. Making assumptions is a setup for suffering, because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right, then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. So I think this has to do with, making assumptions about people's true intentions and the way that they act, and kind of going back to not really taking things completely personally is, again, it's like if it appears on the surface that someone has rejected you, you may feel like, they rejected you because they didn't like you or you weren't good enough or something like that, when in reality, it could really be like something totally different. And that's why it's important to, like not really make assumptions, and especially not take those assumptions personally, and kind of make it all about us, because a lot of times it does have to do with some person's own like personal struggles, as to why they act the way that they do. And then this says, always do your best, honor yourself. Honor the man or woman that you are. Take the risk to express your dream. Taking action is about living fully and expressing what you are. So express yourself, and don't hold yourself back from your dreams. Like if there's something you really feel called to pursue, you can definitely achieve it as long as you believe that you can. And don't be afraid to express the truth of who you are, because when you really express the truth of who you are, I feel like that's how you in a way, like cultivate friendships and relationships that really serve you, because this person or these people spend time with you because they love you for exactly who you are. Whereas, if we wear masks around people or try to fit in by pretending to be someone that you're not, you kind of just end up with a lot of connections and relationships and friendships that are very surface level, and I feel like ultimately kind of not very fulfilling. Alright, Pile 2, thank you so much for watching. Sending you so much love and beauty and abundance and good things. Please take care of yourselves. Alright, bye-bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So we're going to be getting into what your person would say to you, what they would tell you if they were being completely, totally honest with you. All right, pile 3. What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person say to pile 3 if they were being totally honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being totally honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person say to pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person say to pile 3? We have the 8 of Swords. What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, and Temperance. Okay, so what I'm getting here with the 5 of Swords is that your person would tell you that they are aware that there may have been a lot of pain in this connection. I'm also getting this energy that your person, for some of you, is kind of like apologizing and say that maybe they did stab you in the back there. I can see that they're looking back and they're seeing with this energy of kind of like regret that they may have really hurt you, and it hurts them to think about the past, and that they wish that maybe things didn't go down that road. They wish that they had done and said things differently, and I'm hearing just been more careful with how they express themselves to you. Because I'm seeing with the Temperance card is like your person really wants to heal this connection with you. They really want to bring in a lot of hope and beauty here. Like they aren't giving up on this connection either with the 9 of Wands. So even if there's been a lot of conflict and issues here, I'm just getting triggering, maybe just this person's ego may have really lashed out at times for some of you. Despite all of this, your person still has I feel like a lot of strong feelings for you, and they do want to work on the connection here with the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like this is about maybe rebuilding trust between the two of you, rebuilding happiness here. I think that they've been doing a lot of inner work as well. I'm getting another message here with the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles that whatever happened between the two of you, if it was a sense of betrayal or just an argument or something like that, I'm getting that this caused your person to do a lot of self-reflection on the ways that perhaps they were immature. I'm also hearing unprepared for real love or real connection, even vulnerability here, because the 9 of Wands can represent being a very wounded person and putting up barriers as well to other people due to a lot of fears, and as well as the 8 of Swords. This person may have been very stuck inside their own head because of a lot of fears and a lot of experiences, and that really could have caused them to maybe burn you because they were trying to be self-protective, but in the end it kind of just ended up making you feel betrayed or really hurt. And through this, maybe even a separation or something like that, this all kind of called your person to really sit down with themselves and take a cold hard look at themselves and really do that self-reflection and see there are things about myself I need to improve in order to be a better partner going forward, in order to be a more loving person, a better person. Again, there's healing I need to do here. And I feel like with the Ace of Wands, this could represent this spark of inspiration that your person is feeling to maybe really delve into self-love, self-healing, perhaps getting into reading books on self-help, things like that, realizing that they really do need help here, that they need maybe emotional help. I'm also getting with this Temperance, it could even be for some of you, a person is realizing maybe they need to go to therapy or something like that. They need to invest more into healing themselves because they can't keep hurting you, they can't keep hurting other people. And it's they don't like this side of themselves that maybe came out here with the 5 of Swords, and they do really look back on this situation with a lot of feelings of, I feel guilt and regret and really feeling they messed up, and they're having to, like, I think also forgive themselves for that as well. And, you know, really learn from their mistakes. All right, clarify the Five of Swords, please. For pile three's person, tell pile three if they're being completely honest. Clarify the Five of Swords. 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 What would pile three's person tell pile three if they're being completely honest? Clarify the Five of Swords, please. Clarify the Five of Swords. Clarify the Five of Swords. Clarify the Five of Swords, please. Pile three. Clarify the Five of Swords, please, for pile three. Yeah, so with the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, I feel like your person's intuition here is really calling them to return to you, or maybe even communicate with you, because they are listening to their intuition here, connecting to their higher self, their wisdom. So I feel like this is also that message that they have really learned from this situation, and their intuition, I think, is telling them that maybe even they do need to reach out to you here, maybe with some communication, and maybe they do need to, like, apologize or, like, explain themselves here, because the Eight of Wands is about, like, you know, really fast moving energy, passion, you know, suddenly just, like, maybe communicating a lot of their feelings to you here, because again, they do have this, like, spark, this desire to take movement here. It's like, I'm also getting a feeling like maybe for some of you, this person just kind of hurt you and then, like, walked away. And I feel like they feel like you have like a lot of, like, maybe unresolved unresolved energy here. Like they don't like where maybe things left off with you, and they feel like there's a lot of maybe closure in a way that they need to bring to you, not necessarily like to end this connection, but maybe to explain themselves, explain their behavior, and perhaps even ask for forgiveness for some of you, ask to explain their side of things, you know, hear you out as well, maybe even communicate to you here with the Eight of Pentacles, like, look, I have been working on myself. I am very sorry about, you know, what I did, what I said. Clarify the Eight of Swords, please, for pile three. Clarify the Eight of Swords. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Swords. So for some of you, with the Eight of Swords, your person may not be taking a lot of action towards you, like, at the moment. I think they are feeling maybe a bit stuck in their fears and things like that. But in this energy, if they are holding themselves back from you, they are definitely kind of maybe stalking you on social media, just keeping an eye on you, thinking about you a lot, because with the Page of Swords, I'm observing you closely. I want to know more about you. So they could be kind of just you know, silently watching you, thinking about you, kind of trying to maybe even, like, strategize how to communicate with you, what to say to you, because we do have the Knight of Cups. I want to come to you and give you my love. So if your person hasn't come forward to you with love, they are definitely thinking about that. They do want to follow their heart and show up for you. And again, that can be also about bringing you their cup of love, but also empathy and compassion, being emotionally vulnerable with you, letting these walls down as well with the Nine of Wands here. Let's see, let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles for pile three, please. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles, pile three. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles for pile three, please. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles, please, for pile three. Yeah, your person really wants to take action towards you. So we have the Page of Pentacles. I want to reach out and send you a message. Two of Pentacles, I'm getting my priorities straight. And then the Knight of Wands, you're so hot, I want to make a move. So there's a lot of passion that this person does feel for you. You know, even if it feels like things are a bit cold, as I'm kind of seeing with all this snowy energy, even if it feels like on the surface things are cold between the two of you, this person still has, like, a lot of burning desire for you. Like, you can see here with this Nine of Wands, like, they still very much have a lot of torches burning for you, even if they're hiding it or not revealing it to you. And with the Two of Pentacles, I think that's kind of this energy of trying to figure out who they are as a person. And again, like, what are their priorities here? Like, for some of you, you may have felt that they were putting other things before you, before the connection, maybe not feeling like, maybe feeling like they were taking you for granted or something like that. And I think this person is realizing they do need to find balance within themselves, and like what really makes them feel fulfilled as a person, like what really matters to them. I think that's what they're having to figure out. And they're realizing that you truly are what matters most to them here. And that's why they're feeling so passionate and wanting to move towards you and communicate with you. Because when they really sit down and look at what lights them up inside, what makes them feel optimistic, hopeful, excited about the future, it's like I'm really just getting the sense that like you kind of dominate their thoughts and feelings, and nothing else in their reality really lights them up inside the way that you do. All right, let's get some oracle cards now. All right, pile 3. What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? Okay, so we have wedding, codependency, and make the effort. So this person very much could, really want to commit to you for the long term here with the wedding. Some of you may be married to this person, but I feel like this person does see you as like being their future spouse. Like they want to fully commit to you and like give you everything here. If traditional marriage isn't really like attractive to you, this definitely just means that like they feel like you're their life partner, that they want to settle down with you and have that stable union here, and they feel like you really complete them is the energy I'm getting there. We have codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life, so that kind of goes back to the Two of Pentacles, that there may have been things that your person was codependent on that were taking them away from this connection. So that definitely could be like karmic cycles, that literally could be addictions, it could be like, workaholism or substances, stuff like that, that almost were like a third party energy that were preventing your person from really giving you their all. So, anything that was causing you to like feel like I'm just getting like underappreciated maybe by your person, they're telling you like, I really was codependent because there were unhealed parts of myself that caused me to latch on to maybe external things to try to fill that void. And it kind of cost, maybe it cost you a lot of suffering, a lot of, feelings of, again, like betrayal for some of you. And they're saying like, I truly am sorry. And it was about me and my unresolved mental health stuff. But we also have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And I definitely get that here about, all this communication, all this energy your person wants to put towards this connection here with the Nine of Wands as well, not wanting to give up here, wanting to put in the effort with the Eight of Pentacles. So they're saying like, I really realize this is a great love. This is a powerful love. You are my soulmate. You're my person. I do want to, marry you for some of you. There's no one else I really want to be with. So I'm realizing that, if I don't want to lose you for good, I do need to put in that effort. Otherwise, I'm going to like be in this energy of regret for the rest of my life. And so that could be about, with that Five of Swords, really coming in to smooth over whatever difficulties you guys have been having. If you guys had a rough patch, again, had an argument, or you felt betrayed, it's like they want to do what they can to mend the connection and repair maybe what damage has been done to it. I'm also just getting like repairing the trust between the two of you, so that could be really important. And sometimes, even if there has been damage to a connection, if enough effort is put in by both parties to, understand why this happened, really talk through it, work through it, for some connections it can make their relationship even stronger. So I feel like that's what your person wants, is like they want to rebuild with you, and they want to rebuild it like stronger and better than ever. All right. Let's get some more energy, some more oracle cards. What else would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What else would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What else would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What else would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What else would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What else would pile 3's person tell pile 3? Okay, I'm going to reshuffle. Alright, what would pile 3's person tell pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 3's person tell Pile 3? What would Pile 3's person tell Pile 3 if they were being completely honest? What would Pile 3's person tell Pile 3 if they were being completely honest? Okay, so we have expansion, impatience, enlightenment, and guilt. Okay, so what am I getting here? So with this guilt energy, I was picking that up from the Five of Swords for sure, that there could be a lot your person like does feel guilty about here, that they may have caused you a lot of suffering here, and they really recognize that, and again, they've learned from that here. I feel like with the expansion and the enlightenment, your person has really seen the light, they've seen the truth, and whatever experience has happened here, even though maybe it was very painful, it did kind of cause your person's consciousness to expand and for them to really realize a lot more truth, because I think maybe the energy of the guilt became so profound that maybe they did kind of have to go within in order to forgive themselves, to release that energy, and it may have really dawned on them, this energy of really understanding maybe what they put you through, and that can even cause sometimes a depth of compassion and empathy to be developed in a person if they really gain that self-awareness, and in a way like a commitment to not hurt other people again, to be more conscious of the way that we treat other people. So your person's consciousness is expanding, they're becoming wiser through this situation. We also have impatience, and the energy that I'm getting from this card is that, kind of like with this codependency energy, it's like in Buddhism, I think there's like the concept of like hungry ghosts is kind of what I'm getting from here, where it's like someone who does feel very empty, maybe has been through a lot of trauma, who is very much like in the energy of suffering, and that can cause them to kind of like blindly grasp at things externally to fill that like endless void within themselves. And I think that that's that an energy of impatience where it's like just constantly grasping, constantly needing, like this energy of the addiction here. So I think that's kind of what your person is trying to say here, is that they were maybe very addicted to things because they felt just so empty and they were suffering a lot, and they hadn't been filling that emptiness inside of themselves with love or self-compassion. They weren't nurturing themselves, so they were seeking things outside of themselves to satisfy those urges rather than kind of more like deeply reflecting. But I feel like they are deeply reflecting now, because they are, like I said before, gaining a lot of wisdom now. All right, let's get you some messages from them and see what they want to say to you. All right, what does Pile 3's person really want to say to Pile 3? What does Pile 3's person really want to say to Pile 3? What does Pile 3's person really want to say to Pile 3? What does Pile 3's person really want to say? I'm trying to manifest you. That's interesting. So kind of with like make the effort. It's like maybe your person is consciously trying to manifest you if they know about that. I feel like this is also just like them really having a lot of desire for you, especially with the Ace of Wands. I wish I was as good at talking about my feelings as you are so I could finally speak my truth to you. So this person may have had like throat chakra issues where they felt like they couldn't be super communicative, but we can see with all this communication energy that came out earlier that there is a lot of truth that your person does have, and there is a lot of desire to reach out to you and really like, lay all their cards out on the table and help you understand what they were going through and work on the partnership. What else does Pile 3's person want to say? I'm quiet because I don't know what to say to you. Exactly. So that's that energy like the Eight of Swords. Like they may be quiet, not because they don't care, but because they don't really know what to say, because they are afraid. I confess all my secret feelings to you inside my head where it feels safe. So again, there's like so many emotions and secret feelings that your person does have for you, and they may even have like, in a way, like inner conversations with you where they do kind of like talk to you and tell you how much you mean to them and confess all these feelings and maybe get these really, for some of you, like painful truths off their chest. But it could be that because of, whatever fears they have, they don't feel necessarily safe speaking about it in the physical. But I feel like this is what's kind of changing here. What else does Pile 3's person want to say to Pile 3? I also get with this impatience another message, like with the Eight of Wands, like your person has a lot of like physical desire for you too. And there is this energy where they do feel maybe a bit impatient because they do really, really want you. They just desire you very strongly. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? I'm a very sensitive and emotional person. So they may have hidden that from you in the past, that, pretended like they weren't very sensitive, but we can see with the Knight of Cups, they are romantic at heart. I feel like they do have a beautiful, loving side to themselves, but their sensitivity could have even caused them to put walls up if they've been hurt because of their sensitivity in the past, like made fun of or something like that. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3, please? What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? Every path leads back to you. So I think this is kind of them saying that I can't really run from this connection because all paths lead home, and like even if I try to run away or avoid the connection or pretend I don't have feelings for you, I always feel called to return to you. I'm letting go of blame and resentment and seeing the bigger picture and lesson in all of this. Yeah, look at that here. Expansion. So they're like kind of zooming out and in a way like getting beyond their own perspective. Because when we're triggered, a lot of times we are kind of just seeing things from our own perspective, like we're just feeling very emotional and very upset. And it could be your person has been maybe taking a lot of time to really sit down and in that energy of kind of like meditation where they're not caught up in the swirl of their emotions, and it allows them to see things from all sides, and that there is a lesson, a really beautiful, profound lesson in whatever has happened here. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? What else does pile 3's person want to say? I always cared about you. That's really sweet. So no matter what they did, they still always really did care about you. You always did mean a lot to them. My heart knows that we are one. Beautiful. So at the core, I feel like we all are connected. And so that's why it's kind of like futile to hold a lot of anger and resentment towards others, because due to that mirroring effect, we kind of end up just carrying all this resentment and anger towards ourselves as well. So when we can kind of forgive others and just let it go, we release a lot of, inner pain. Because at the core, we're all kind of very, very deeply connected, especially if this is a soul level connection. There may even be an even deeper level of connection between the two of you, and your person's realizing that hurting you really just ended up hurting them too, and they don't want to do that anymore. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? You're the only one I want, so you are the person that they really want to be with. There's no one else for them. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? I can feel the passion between us building. Yeah, I definitely see that with the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Wands coming out twice. There's so much passion your person has for you. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? I need you. So if you guys are, at a distance or there is a disconnect somehow, your person is really realizing, like, I do need you in my life. Like, you mean a lot to me. I want you here. What else does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? I burn from the heat between us. Again, so much passion, so much heat. I feel like your person just kind of finds themselves like very much on fire for you. Maybe even at random times they just feel this overwhelming amount of passion and like this urge to come towards you, move towards you, communicate with you, be with you. So it could be that unexpectedly maybe you do receive just like a rush of communication, a lot of feelings from your person that they've kind of been like holding back, but they're finally letting be free. All right, pile 3. Let's get you some advice. What does pile 3 need to hear right now? What does pile 3 need to hear right now? What does pile 3 need to hear right now? What does pile 3 need to hear right now? What does pile 3 need to hear right now? What does pile 3 need to hear? So this says, don't make assumptions, learn to ask questions. It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Sorry. Once you hear the answer to a question, you won't have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. So I think this is just about, healthy communication. and learning to, rather than like making an assumption and kind of like getting really upset or really triggered by something, making sure to really sit down with the person and ask them what's really going on here, rather than just, assuming that you're being rejected or they're feeling a certain way about you. It's good to just really get clear and make sure you know the truth before you jump to any conclusions. And then this says, love and respect yourself. Don't take anything personally. You are never responsible for the actions of others, but you are responsible for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. You may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. So I think this is in regards to this connection, whatever that five of Swords energy was. If they did hurt you, if they weren't being loving and respectful, if they did walk away or there has been a separation, it is a gift because you have that time to heal yourself. You have that time to mend yourself. And that eventually you will heal from, whatever anyone has done. And again, you are responsible for you. So you're responsible for the way that you react to how other people treat you, but definitely if someone is hurtful, it's always more a reflection of them and their inner pain that they're kind of like projecting onto you. And if you want to walk away from that person because you feel like, they need to just be alone and work on themselves before you can be comfortable, being around them, I feel like that is definitely very fair, and you do have to kind of prioritize yourself in a lot of ways and keep yourself safe and surrounded by people that really do have like the best intentions for you and that are, healthy and add something really beautiful to your life rather than, constantly make you feel downtrodden. That doesn't have to necessarily even do with this person. It could also just be about other people that have maybe hurt you in your life. If there's ever been anyone that had a lot of negativity to share with you and made you feel really down about yourself, just that was really like them expressing to you how they really feel about themselves. All right, pile 3, thank you so much for watching. It was a pleasure to read for you. Sending you so much love and abundance and bliss and beauty and good times. Please take care of yourselves. All right, bye-bye.